What is up, you guys? Welcome back, and I think it is time we do a construction update. It has been a while since we have done one of these, and I hear there's a lot going on in Fantasyland, so let's head on in. And the first thing you notice when you come into Fantasyland is the Bippity Boppity Boutique is totally under construction. Now, I believe it is still open during this construction, but there's a reason why it has this facade on it. And that's because Snow White's Scary Adventure is down for refurbishment. Is going to have a complete overhaul. I mean, they are going to make it pretty much like they did Alice in Wonderland and Peter Pan. And I think that for all the rides in Fantasyland, they're going to do this type of overhaul, but they're starting, well, this is the third ride now that they've done this way. But we don't have an opening date for this, but it is going to be quite a while because when they do an overhaul like this, it takes a little bit longer than a couple of months. The other thing that is being completely refurbished is the King Arthur's Carousel. It is completely down, completely covered. You know, they're going to retouch up the paint and stuff. You know, it just looked a little dull next to Dumbo once they redid Dumbo, so I think now they're going to touch that up and make this look all nice and pretty. I'm sure they have to touch up some of the horses and stuff. I don't have an opening date for this ride either, but I don't think it'll take as long as Snow White's Scary Adventure. One of the cool things that they do when they do these construction updates or these refurbishments is they have a lot of fun facts on the walls of the different rides. So you can see how the ride has progressed throughout the years, the different horses that they've used, the colors, and just a little bit of the history of the ride. So it looks like Small World is up and running. It is back up and running. I'm sure it's been up for a few days now, but they are doing some work on the concrete flooring over here in front of Small World. Nothing major, just some resurfacing. That is it for Fantasyland construction. Let's head on over to Tomorrowland and see what they got going on in there. As we enter into Tomorrowland, the only thing I see so far is just the walls are still up around this little building here, and I think they're just waiting until they can finalize and actually implement the new entrance to Tomorrowland, which we've all been waiting for. You've all seen the pictures, so that might be it. I'm gonna walk in and see if there's anything. Oh, I see some scrim. So they do still have some scrim up against the walls. They have redone the walls. They're more like a silver metallic-y color, and I think they change a little bit in their coloring as the light hits them. Let's go see what the other wall looks like. This one is over by Buzz Lightyear. So you can see what the final product looks like. Now, if you remember, these used to just be a white color, and now they're this shiny metallic metal type color, which looks like it'll look awesome when the sun peeks over and you get different reflections of light. I'm surprised I didn't notice this before. I know this one has been up for a little while, but it actually looks a lot better, I think, than the white color that was up here. So over here by Space Mountain, you can see they are still building the emergency stairway. This is an emergency exit off of the top platform of the queue there to come down to the bottom. I'm not sure how long it's going to take for them to finish it, but they've added some metal trimming and stuff, but the walls have expanded all the way out here. Who knows when this will finish. It's not really affecting Space Mountain in any way, shape, or form, but it's just kind of a little bit of an eyesore. So over here by New Orleans Square, you can see the Mark Twain is under refurbishment, guys. They got it dry docked there. They got the little dam up. They got the water pulled out. It looks like they're doing an overall paint job on this bad boy right here. And they do have some scrim up around it, probably just to block the view of them working on it as much as possible when you're over by it. I thought they would have the scrim up all the way around it, but they don't. And you can see the guys in there are doing a good paint job, restoring some of the benches. They're actually really doing a lot of work. Now I'm wondering if they're going to be redoing the paddles here on the back. Is that what those are called? Are those called paddles? I'm not sure, but you know, it was starting to look a little beat up, so they have to get a fresh coat of paint, replace any boards or anything in there that need to be replaced. So I don't know how long this one's going to be down either. I'm not much information today except for just showing you guys that it's down. Now over here at the Harbor Galley, you can still walk through. It's just they have the scrim up, so it's not very scenic when you come through here. And they still have the additional seating around the corner here. But like I said, you're just going to deal with a lot of brown scrim. It's still a nice shortcut on a crowded day. It's peaceful back here in the corner. So if you can find a nice place to sit down back here, it's very peaceful. And not too many people know about this corner. And I think especially with the scrim up right now, it's very secluded. As you can see, nobody is here right now. And what a nice place to relax on a busy day. It's so nice and peaceful here. And usually we expect the Haunted Mansion to go down after the overlay from Nightmare Before Christmas, but It looks like it's just a little bit more than taking down the overlay. They got some scrim up, and they only put that scrim up if it's going to be down for a while. So they're probably doing some work back here on the paint. Again, just refurbishing the ride overall. I can hear some construction equipment back there. Maybe they're redoing some of the queuing area. Maybe they're rerouting it. Who knows? Also pretty interesting, they have a lot of different artwork here on the doorway to the Haunted Mansion, so you can, even though you can't ride the ride, you can still learn some interesting facts. Trying to peek through the hole here, they do have some scaffolding. There is a construction worker back there, but can't really see much. So that is it for the Disneyland side of the resort for construction. So let's head on into Disney California Adventure and see what we can find there. Our first stop in Disney California Adventure is Grizzly River Run, where you will see construction workers repainting the rock work. It looks like they did some work to remove some of the coloring, but it looks like, I don't know if you can see right there, they are doing some sort of, I'm assuming painting, but I don't know, they don't have paint. Or maybe they do. They're cleaning, they're doing some cleaning on the rocks right there. Sorry for this shaky hand, you guys, but I am way zoomed in right now. But yeah, Grizzly River Run is down for the count. Seems like it always goes down in the winter time, and then they come out and they do all sorts of restoration out here. Okay, yeah, they are painting. They are doing detailed work. They're spraying some stuff on, and then they taking their brush and they're coating it. Looks like they might be doing some more painting on the railing over there. This guy is tethered in so he doesn't fall. I don't know what he's hooked onto though, but definitely doing a lot of work. You can tell at the bottom, the tops are kind of white, and then the bottoms get really brownish color. They do have a wall completely surrounding the queue line area. There's no way into this one. It's always interesting to see this ride without the water in it. To imagine you're floating between these pieces of wood here. And then they got some sort of mini scaffolding over there, and that's where your raft gets taken onto these little metal things on the wall. See those right there in the middle of the track? It's like these metal railings and stuff right there that'll keep your boat steady because you're about to go to the lift over there. It's very interesting. It's just a very simple concept. I mean, if you look at it, there's no really ride track. There's just some wooden planks that are mounted onto these metal bars, and they fill this with water, and that's what keeps you in there. And then there's just nothing there except for water just pushing you along. I always find it really interesting to see the inner workings of a ride, and just how this ride is so simply done. Like, literally, it just floats until it gets to this ramp right here, which takes you up the lift hill, which, I mean, it's just really nothing to this ride. So it doesn't look like there's any work being done to the ramp going up into the mountain, but definitely looks like there was a lot of work being done at the bottom, and I'm sure there's probably work being done up top, but we won't know until we get on the ride when it opens. Then the other construction that is happening here in Disney California Adventure is Avengers Campus. This is the one we're all waiting for. And I'd figure I'd start off with this shot of the crane up there. You can see the crane over there in Avengers Campus. Now we just got confirmation from Disney. This is where an animatronic SpiderMan will be flying through the air, and actually in some sort of either show or just maybe it'll be random like how the stormtroopers are on Batuu, but we're not sure exactly how or what it's going to be used with. But we do know that that was the purpose of this poll, and that soon, when the land opens, we will see an animatronic Spider-Man web his way through the skyline, which will be awesome because this has never been done before, where an animatronic is flying through the air. I've moved over to what they call AP Corner now over here, and just to get a look at some of the buildings and the progress that they're making. And you can see they have some of the building facade there. This is where I'm assuming Spider-Man's gonna land, because he'll be flying from a pole which is behind this tree, which I'll move over to get you a better shot pretty soon. But you can see they still have a lot of work to do on the facade here. I bet you where that little crane is at, that'll become brickwork on that facade. But it should be interesting. This is the Spider-Man ride right there. Also, if you notice, there are poles that are put up right there. I'm assuming there's going to be a sign, and that'll be part of a wall, because if you look, oh look, Maynard's Junkyard Jamboree, it's still going, but they have a wall around it. So I wonder if that wall is going to be permanent. But you can see they have put a wall around Maynard's Junkyard Jamboree. I don't think it's permanent. I think it's going to be just for construction purposes right now. But it is open because I do see people exiting the ride. But it's going to be interesting how they cover up between Cars Land and Avengers Campus, because they literally butt right up against each other. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do that. I moved over a little bit and you can see the crane right up there. And that is where Spider-Man is going to be flying over behind. We assume that's why they built this big thing right here, because that's where he'll be landing, is behind there. And what it really is, it's a net that catches the animatronic as it flies through the air and it lands in a net. But you can see that they've added the red wall there. Oops, there's something right in the way. There'll be a big logo in that empty spot right there. And it's hard to tell. I couldn't get on the Pixar Pal Around. It was really crowded right now, so I did not go on there. But I'm just curious, because those poles, you can see the tops of those poles, it's not just like a straight line going around Maynard's Junkyard Jamboree. So I'm wondering how the entrance is really going to look and what they're going to do. We've seen the concept art, which looks really neat. I hope they stick to that plan. But that's about it. The other side over by Guardians over there, you really can't see much. They're just building the buildings over there. But Avengers Campus is coming along, and we're going to start to see a lot of work done on it, because it's got to open up by summer of 2020, which is this year. Something that just caught my eye right now before I'm leaving, behind the red building there, you see there's like a little cement thing that's sticking out right in front of the pole. Do you think that's where Spider-Man will be loaded before he's ejected? Because I'm assuming they're going to use some sort of pulley system to eject him and make him fly through the air. But I'm wondering if that's where he's going to be loaded, because why else would you have this cement block opening right behind this red building? Tell me in the comments below, what do you think? Now, before we finish this video, I have jumped over to the Toy Story parking lot real quick. I almost forgot to show you that they have closed off half of the parking lot, because they are redoing it. If you notice, there used to be, this is where the buses used to drop and pick you off right here. They have pretty much removed everything that needs to be removed, and now they're flattening the land, and they will be laying down some concrete, or some asphalt I should say. And then I'm pretty sure they're just going to be restriping this to have these aisles come all the way down to over there. But I have no idea for sure if that's what's going to happen, but I mean, that's usually what happens, right? They have long aisles of cars parked. I don't know if they'll have a breakaway in the middle at all to get that traffic through, but right now they have curved the buses directly in. But that looks like what will be happening. I mean, the Ballards, the white Ballards right here, they stop right over there. There is a little entryway over there, but I don't think it's meant for main traffic. So when you come in, they'll probably circle everybody left, and then you'll either park here, or the lanes I should say, will go all the way down towards the end, or maybe they'll start redirecting traffic towards the right and you'll come this way across and park. But the line's already painted over here, so I don't think they would do that. They've also installed this really cool Disneyland Resort sign that used to be in downtown Disney. I like that added touch. It was really nice this morning in the dark, seeing it all lit up. Well, that is it for your construction update today. Hopefully we'll have more of these in the future. Keep you posted on what's going on around the park. If you enjoyed this, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share it with all your friends, and we'll catch you next time.